Welcome to the Get Twisted podcast with your hosts, Zac and Joe. This episode, we celebrate the 4th anniversary of Twisted Irons Craft Brewing Company. Zac and Joe talk about how they got started with the brewery, and we do in-depth interviews with Matt and Brandon, the brewers, talking about the Devil May Care, our anniversary beer, the Belgian Golden Strong Ale. So grab a cold one and let's get twisted.
What's going on, everybody? Zac here with the Get Twisted podcast, and yo, Joe, come have a beer, dude. Come on.
Hey, man.
We got some stuff to talk about.
Oh, man. Hey, how are you?
Doing good, man. How you doing?
Good. I brought my beer. Cheers.
Yeah, cheers, man.
All right, cool. Let's get this up.
All right, so
Yes.
4th anniversary.
4 years. I can't believe it.
It's pretty freaking cool, man. It feels like just yesterday this started.
I feel like I've been here for decades. It's weird. Beaten, worn.
So, with it being the 4th anniversary, it's also the 4th iteration of the Devil May Care beer coming out here at Twisted Irons.
Absolutely. And it's fantastic, which we're about to see in a minute. You'll see some Devil May Care, and you'll just have to take our word for it, how good it is.
But my first question for you is, how did you get into being here at Twisted Irons? When did you start doing this awesome artwork for?
Well, first of all, this beer is kind of responsible for me being here, and pardon the music, I carry a band with me everywhere I go so that I have them set up, and when I walk into a room they play my theme song, and this is it. So there you go.
You're gonna go with this as
I'm not. It's just open mic night, and this is the only night we had to record, so but I'm gonna go with the theme song. But no, so this beer, I'm a little teacup short and stout, so it's an Irish dry stout. This was the very first beer that I had at Twisted Irons. So we were home brewing. So it was my brother, my partner Jess, and myself. We were home brewing illegally over COVID in driveways and stuff. And part of what we would do is run out to other breweries and get crowlers, whatever they would sell us. And my brother picked up this lovely stout from Twisted Irons and was like, here's the brew that we're going to drink while we're brewing, which is pretty cool.
Right.
And I fell in love with it. My immediate thought was, where did this guy come from? This was a Matt found beer. So it was like, where did these guys come from? He had to have come from someplace because it's so polished. Normally new breweries, the beer's got some maturing to do. This was a solid beer from day one. Mm-hmm. And maybe 2 or 3 weeks later, Jess nudged me and said, hey, those Twisted guys are doing a call for artists. So I was like, cool, let's go try the beer. It was for Flyover State of Mind. Let's go try the beer, and I'll go down there and talk to them, and then kind of whatever. So fast forward to when I spoke with Dave, and he was like, well, you brought sketches and all kinds of stuff, and I pitched a pinup girl to him because I found out that they're very military focused, and I wanted to kind of pay homage to that. So It was a callback to an old Gil Elfgren painting of a girl sitting on a World War II plane. So I did my take on that painting for the Flyover State of Mind IPA, and we've been BFFs ever since. So I've been basically making beer. So that set us on this path of pinup girls. But when it came to the Devil, I spoke with Matt and Dave, and they're like, now we want something that's very unapologetic, and you may not love it, but you'll remember it kind of a thing. So I was like, I'm just going to do like a naked devil girl. And that was pretty much the first shot, the original artwork for the Devil May Care. And we've since modified it. We change it up every couple of years. So last year I changed it to the design that you're wearing because it's a little more beer forward. It holds the beer out in front, which is what I wanted on there. And how did you get a 4th anniversary shirt so fast?
Exclusive access.
You must know people. So this is the 4th anniversary shirt. This is going to be available on Saturday. And so this is the new take on the Devil Girl, which so far has gotten a lot of positive feedback about
for sure.
You know, it's a little irreverent, but also we don't care. So,
the Devil May Care.
The Devil May Care.
But we don't.
Fitting. We definitely don't. Well, let me turn the tables back on you.
Sure.
How did you get here?
How did I get here? Well, I got here through my stepfather, David, who is one of the co-owners here at Twisted Irons. So
that's who you are.
Yes, that's who I am. And from week 1, I was here working behind the bar. I'm not a great bartender, but I do love being a part of this place. So you can still find me behind the bar every once in a while. And for
I
those,
would argue with that. He's a great bartender. This is actually his theme song playing right now because he's such a good bartender.
but for anybody who wasn't here for the first couple weeks, I do think it's fun to kind of go back and remember that it was in the height of COVID. So we actually had 2-hour shifts of people coming in. So it would be like you were blocked off from, say, like 12 to 2. There was a group of people in here from 12 to 2. And then as soon as 2 o'clock hit, everybody had to be out and a whole new group of people were coming in and the place was packed. I think there were only 4 or 5 beers at that point in time. And
that's awesome.
Fun thinking back on it.
That's crazy. People going out of their car, changing their shirts, like combing their hair different. Nah, that definitely wasn't me. Hey, use your card this time, not mine. Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, and it was kind of like but I don't want to leave. I want to keep drinking.
I remember those days, man. Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't actually step foot into the bar. The first time actually in here was to interview with Dave.
Right.
For the label job, and then he said. I see you online, you take pictures. Do you want to take some pictures for us? I'm like, good, because your pictures are terrible. And they're bad. I don't know if he just has a backwards camera. I have no idea what he does, but I'm very grateful, and so is he, that like now he lets me just run the photos for the beer.
Right.
So that's fun too. So it's been a blast.
And you'll be here taking pictures on Saturday?
And as long as the camera autofocus still works, because I'm having some of that devil, so we'll see how it goes.
The anniversary can get a little crazy in that way.
Oh, absolutely. Are you bartending, or are you just coming as?
Oh, I'm gonna be here as a guest.
You're coming as a guest? All right, man. Cheers,
Cheers, man.
See you there. I'm here with brewmaster and co-owner Matt Found. What? I'm just
damn it,
doing the intro. Thank you. Get back, servant.
Nice pour. Nice pour.
That's good. Okay. Jeez. I thought that one was for me. Guess not. So tell me about your comfort rag. Because you always have this rag on you. We've been out in public.
Yeah.
Not here. In other public places, and you roll up with that rag hanging out of your back pocket. Tell us about the comfort rag, Matt.
Yeah, it's been an interesting one. When we first started, I obviously was rag free because I didn't need it. But as we've come to over the years, I need the rag, and I cut myself all the time, and also I spill beer everywhere quite frequently. But then it became a thing when Jess was like mocking me because of the comfort rag, and so I started wearing it even more frequently, just egg her on, basically.
Definitely appreciated.
Yeah.
All right, so brew founder, co-owner, Matt Found his comfort rag and our anniversary beer, the Devil May Care.
Yeah.
So I want to talk to you about the Devil May Care. Where did the idea for this beer come from?
Yeah, shamelessly, this is one of my favorite beers in the world that I've been drinking for 25 years is Duvel, which is from Belgium. And it's so famous that it really created its own beer style called Golden Strong Ale. Belgian Golden Strong Ale. And I thought it was like niche-y and unique enough to try for our anniversary beer. We only brew it once a year. It's a big beer. It's got a lot of flavor.
It is. What's this one weigh in at?
This is 10%. Okay. The first year was 11.5, so we brought it down a little bit. Last year was 10.5. We're trying to kind of calm our tits a little bit because this thing is, it tastes like a golden ale basically. And
right.
So by the time you realize that it's 10%, it's pretty much lights out at that point.
You're on the floor when you get it. That was my first experience with it. This is smooth. It is
very smooth. We've lagered it for a couple weeks. We start brewing it in early February actually. So we have enough time to let it do its thing slowly. We amp up the temperature to let it finish stronger, probably in the mid to high 70 degrees, which is really kind of high normally. In Belgium, the brewing rules are they don't have any for the most part. It's like what is unique, what is digestible, what is not heavy, what can, you don't have to sit with, you can have some. And so we use sugar to lighten the body. And we've sourced a yeast from Omega, which emits a bit of a pear ester or aroma.
I was going to ask about the flavor profile, like what people are supposed to get out of it.
Yeah, so there's a light pear.
Are you done vacuuming? Jesus!
In the brewery, the cleaning never stops, actually.
I pulled Matt mid-brew to do this interview. So
This is super convenient, actually.
It's going to be really, really noisy.
Yeah.
And really convenient. Anyway, go back to flavor profile.
Yeah, we should lighten the body, so it's going to be a little dry. It'll have a slight sweet overtone. The pear aroma is going to be fairly present. And then it's got a little spice from the Czech Saaz hops that we use, and Styrian Goldings also, but otherwise it's just straight Pilsner malt. We mash in at a very low temperature to get the most fermentables we can, and we want it converted from starch to sugar all the way into the kettle, and that's what we did here. And this one is probably the best one yet. It changes a little year to year. Last year we started with the Omega. This one we also went with it, and it's perfect.
And this is out of the keg. This is ready to go, right?
Oh yeah, it's ready to go.
I've only had it out of the bright so far, and it smells amazing.
It's super effervescent. Almost all the Belgians are carbonated very highly. Out of the tap, it's hard to replicate sort of the bottle conditioning and secondary fermentation that's done in bottles generally, but we try. So yeah, super excited about this. I know it's going to be another great anniversary, and we're just thrilled to be at year 4, honestly.
That's awesome. Well, we have somebody trying to break in before we're open. So how did you decide that this was going to be, because this is our fourth anniversary, so happy birthday to us.
Happy birthday.
At the end of the month. So what made you decide, hey, this is the anniversary beer?
I went through, I guess first it's worth saying, did you hear something?
No.
Yeah. I went through like a list of things I wanted to do in my head, and that first year, we hadn't brewed all the things we've done now, but we're over like 60 different beers across 50 styles, and so I knew I had to kind of select something that was pretty unique. The beer that we took it off of, or that we were inspired by, is certainly very popular, but I don't see a lot of people doing this well, because it's hard. It's all in the little things. It's you have to really work for this one, and I thought it would be a good challenge, and I thought it would be memorable, and just really in theme with kind of what we do here, just the diversity and getting excellent at things that are hard to replicate time and time again.
Right. That's a staple of a true artist. You want to like
you hope
beat
so,
yourself.
yeah.
I feel that.
Did I emphasize the work part hard enough though? Like the brewery doesn't always cooperate. You sometimes have the yeast is a living organism. You're trying to work with it. It's an old saying from Germany: the brewers make wort, yeast makes beer, and so you got to kind of have a collaboration with it and
that's cool.
Work with it.
Well, this is excellent this year. I think it's going to be a fantastic. It definitely has its fans too. People come out of the woodwork for this beer. So.
They do, and I know if I can tease this a little surprise from last year.
Ooh, what would the surprise be?
So Brandon's going to talk about this a little bit later, but early on in the process to make this last year, we pulled about 30 gallons off to throw in a rye barrel.
I did almost just fall off my chair. I don't know if you saw that. Anyway, go ahead. So Brandon did what now? He's
we decided to pull a little bit off of this last year's batch.
You can't say pull it off on the podcast. That's for the other podcast.
Oh, you can't?
Yeah, it's
we decided to siphon off some of the beer from the tank last year and put in a rye barrel for this beer. And Brandon's going to talk about that a little bit later, but it's really curious what happens when you put it in wood. Like we had some really crazy overtones, and it started to taste completely different almost immediately. We've had it in there for 12 months now, as of like 2 weeks ago or last month or something. So super excited about also at some point putting that in cans and getting on draft and showing people what we've done.
You heard it here first. Barrel age, Devil. I definitely need to.
And it's probably closer to 13% at this point after a year in the barrel. So
it's fun. Plus, it was.
It's fun. It's fun. Yeah, yeah.
It'd be fun. We're only serving sips of that one. So
yeah.
So you said we're putting it in cans.
I think we're gonna try for a can release probably after a draft release, though.
Okay.
I guess we gotta talk amongst ourselves and see what the best thing to do is on that one. But I'm really excited about that. We got a lot of barrel stuff going on. Brandon will probably mention that later. But yeah, it's really exciting working with the wood.
Awesome. I like it when you
say wood.
Work with your wood on the Get Twisted podcast, where we talk about beer and we're slightly irreverent. So that's kind of our.
I pulled it back. I have. At my lawyer's advice to just slightly irreverent.
I'm so proud of you, Matt. Well,
It's been a long road, Joe. It really has. Yeah.
thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule, because I know that beer is not going to brew itself.
It's not. It's definitely not.
And somebody's hosing something off back there now. So anyway, get back to work, will you?
All right. Thanks.
All right, man.
Did you want to?
No, you can go. Just.
Oh, nice barrels. Yeah. Oh.
Oh, hey, man. What are you doing here hanging out by these barrels?
Oh, just doing my favorite thing, checking on them and making sure that they. Yeah.
What's that?
You weren't supposed to see that. I was hiding it.
Give it to me.
Yeah. All right. As you saw, I was
my goodness.
acting suspicious for a reason. I get this one.
Why?
So I was over here.
Hang on a second. So I need to come clean. Matt told me what you did.
Okay.
This is our anniversary beer, the Devil May Care, as comes out of a keg and on tap.
And that's this year, right? 2025.
Yes, this is 2025.
Very excited about it. Tastes very good.
What do you have, and why does it look so different?
This guy right here, this is Devil May Care from 2024. We actually put it in a barrel on March 5th. So it has now been a year and 6 days in a barrel.
Wow.
So as you can see the difference, it almost looks like whiskey. It's got nice golden color to it, and I mean, it really looks like a little bit of bourbon. So a lot of that being extracted from the inside of the barrel, so that's pretty cool.
So that's what you do back here all the time?
Yeah, that's,
Where's Brandon?
I don't want people to know I'm sampling the barrels again.
You're down back here playing.
I always ask why there's only half of a barrel left. And
he's back here playing with his wood in barrels. So, yeah. So, tell me more about this. So we barreled this a year ago.
It was a year ago.
Last year's batch. Was this significant for you in any way?
Yes, it was pretty awesome. It was the first barrel that I got to do here, and I was very excited. Before that, Matt and the guys had done one before, and that was Baltic Porter, and that one was just kind of hiding and doing its thing, and then we decided we were going to do this in a rye whiskey barrel, and we went to Painted Stave and picked them up, so that was really cool. Very excited about that. Shout out to those guys.
They make amazing product.
Yes, they do.
We love them.
We serve it here as well. And so we got the rye whiskey barrel and put it in there, and I figured, a Belgian beer would be great in a rye whiskey barrel because of that kind of that peppery note from your rye whiskey already goes along with your Belgian beer. So we did that, and then as people who've had Devil before, we start out with kind of a pear notes in it and a little bit of your bubble gum, traditional for your Belgians. And then now, since we put it in a barrel, it was like that, and it kind of retained those notes for the first 3 months, and then all of a sudden the beer started changing. And now it has big aromas of, actually you tell me, what do you smell?
I smell I smell a whiskey. It almost smells like I'm about to drink
definitely
a whiskey.
Hints of whiskey, the barrel, and then for me, I get big notes of vanilla, a little bit of cherry, that would come from the barrel as well, and then pineapple. To me, if I get a big whiff of it, it is like a pineapple upside down cake that somebody put a splash of booze in.
This is why I'm like, I smell whiskey, and he's like, no, I smell all these ingredients. That's why he does what he does.
Exactly. So, but it is very enjoyable. I can't wait to share it with everybody.
So the ABV on this, I believe, is right around 10, or is it 9? Matt was talking about he's trying to bring it down a little bit.
It was this year. It was 9.8.
Okay.
Right there at 9.8, 10.
Where's this guy?
This is at 10.5. So you would think it was going to gain a lot more alcohol, but when we put this beer into the barrel, there was not a lot of residual sugars left. So the re-fermentation process, which is always a slight bit, it didn't happen like crazy. So it's just a little bit stronger, but not too much where it's just going to kick your butt.
Right. Well, I like that because this is already kind of a butt kicking beer, but that's just a completely new flavor profile for this.
The best part about this, it is very smooth for how strong it is, and there's definitely whiskey in there that you taste and you get in your mouth. So if you're not a big whiskey person, it might not be for you, but for people that love whiskey, you're gonna love it. And I also think for everybody, like I said, it tastes like, to me, first thing is just pineapple upside down cake. So nice and easy to drink, for a 10.5% beer.
Pineapple upside down cake.
All this talk is making me thirsty.
Right,
I'm gonna have to have a
cheers, man.
You can't have this one.
Oh.
It's so delicious.
This is fantastic.
I'm kidding.
Too.
You can have a sip.
Yeah, give me that. Let me see this.
Yeah, I won't say no to this either. Well, cheers.
Oh, here. Cheers, man. I'm keeping this.
Yep.
This is Ray.
Fun, gross fact. I didn't sanitize it.
This has been the Twisted Irons Get Twisted podcast with Zac and Joe. Thank you guys for listening. We'll be back again next month with a new episode.